we're diving straight into something truly mind-bending today. We're going to travel from the literal macrocosmic scale of creation all the way down into the nitty-gritty of why you do what you do every single day. We are decoding Chapter 2 of the 013 Structural Philosophy, which is all about the actual mechanics of source energy and something beautifully called the waters of memory. So if you've ever felt like your daily life is running on autopilot, or if you're just endlessly curious about the architecture of consciousness itself, well, stick around, you are definitely in the right place. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the birth of source energy and then move right into the inward flow. From there, we'll hit our main focus, the waters of memory, which naturally leads us into unpacking the cosmic archive. And finally, we will bring it all together with making the hidden visible. Section 1, Birth of Source Energy, the cosmic origin. Let's get into it. Okay, so how do you even begin to explain something entirely infinite? Well, this imagery gives us a fantastic visual metaphor. Think of it like a giant, flawless diamond. The source text gives us this incredibly specific architecture here. The creator of existence is the jeweler. Source energy itself is the diamond. Divine law is the structure, the perfect geometry of that diamond. And the four worlds, the realms of spirit, mind, soul, and body, are the light refracting right through it. What's absolutely crucial to grasp here is that creation wasn't just pushed away from the creator. Not at all. Source energy acts as a sustaining field within the creator, just continuously refracting light into all these different perspectives of experience. Let's lock in the core definition real quick. Source energy is the infinite field of creative potential through which creation unfolds according to divine law. And I want to highlight a massive point the source text makes to clear up a very common misunderstanding. Source energy, it is not something separate from you. It's not something you have to go out into the universe and find or earn or try to magically attract into your life. You already exist within it. You are sustained by it literally every single second. The whole goal isn't to somehow acquire more of it, but rather just to become a clearer, cleaner vessel for the energy that is already pouring through you. Section 2, the inward flow, how energy moves. Now, this source energy takes two fundamental directions. On one side, we've got the inward flow. When source energy turns in upon itself, it becomes incredibly receptive. It receives, it nurtures, it holds, and it remembers. This is the domain of the soul, the divine feminine, literally the womb of creation. But on the flip side, we have the outward flow. When energy pushes outward, it becomes active. It directs, initiates, builds, and manifests. That's the spirit, the divine masculine, the seed of life. And honestly, it makes perfect sense, right? You absolutely need both. The inward flow conceives the actual meaning, and the outward flow gives it physical form. Section 3, the waters of memory, the soul's perspective. Take a look at this really immersive liquid imagery. In this entire philosophy, the element of water represents the soul. It represents the ultimate eternal receiver of experience. Think about it. Water naturally takes the exact perfect shape of whatever vessel you pour it into. Well, your soul is exactly the same. It receives and records every single impression and experience in your life. I mean, everything. Every passing thought, every gut-wrenching emotion, every tiny action leaves a distinct ripple and an imprint on these inner waters. So while your body is out there acting and your spirit is out there directing traffic, your soul's main gig is to preserve. And the source material maps all of this out systematically. It uses what it calls harmonic structure. Check this out. The soul's perspective, which is known as Key 2 in Chapter 2, is strictly categorized by these metadata attributes. It lines up perfectly with the element of water, the color orange, the musical key of F, the archetype of the daughter, and the direction of west. It's basically a cosmic filing cabinet. It's a remarkably precise taxonomy that makes sure we don't get lost in vague, confusing spiritual jargon. Everything has a very distinct, functional place in the architecture of consciousness. Section 4, the cosmic archive, your subconscious. Let me ask you something point blank. Are you making completely independent choices right now, or are you just replaying old tapes? The text points out something fascinating here. A lot of people walk around assuming they're navigating life making entirely independent, highly rational decisions. But the reality, we are unknowingly being heavily influenced by subconscious programming that was recorded way back in our own waters of memory. See, your subconscious mind resides entirely inside this domain of the soul. It is your personal cosmic archive. It stores it all, your subconscious habits, those random childhood experiences you thought you forgot, deep emotional associations, heavy societal conditioning, and all your raw instincts. The soul is amazing because it allows a temporary experience to become permanent wisdom. But, and this is a huge but, it also hoards all your unexamined fears and wounds. So much of our automatic daily behavior actually stems from these hidden patterns, rather than our actual conscious present-day choices. Which brings us to a quote that really hits the nail on the head. What remains hidden controls behavior. What becomes visible can be understood and transformed. I mean, that right there is the absolute punchline of Chapter 2. If you don't take a hard look at your core beliefs, if you just let those old childhood tapes run wild in the dark waters of your soul, they're literally going to dictate your destiny. The whole game is dragging those invisible scripts out into broad daylight and asking yourself, does this belief actually help me grow, or is it just what I'm used to? Section 5, Making the Hidden Visible, Conscious Choice. So let's look at how this builds into the literal anatomy of a conscious choice. When people are operating unconsciously, they're stuck on a simple two-step loop. An event occurs, and they react. Boom, automatic, driven totally by unexamined memories. But for a self-aware person, the sequence expands. An event occurs, and then comes step 2, awareness, the sacred pause. It's that powerful ability to just observe a thought or an emotion bubbling up without instantly identifying with it. Only after you take that pause do you move to conscious choice, then action, and finally, the consequence dictated by divine law. Between an event and your reaction lies your true freedom. That pause, that is exactly where the self sits down on the throne of choice. In this philosophy, the self is simply the observer. It is not the soul and it is not the spirit. It's the eternal spark that watches the emotions happening in the soul and then decides how to direct the actions of the spirit. When you start cultivating that pause, you are basically staging a spiritual intervention against your own automatic conditioning. You are taking responsibility for your own inner waters. So to wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a pretty intense, provocative question straight from these teachings on the upper inner world. What are you holding in your waters that you have not yet felt, spoken, or released? What meaning are you assigning to your past experiences? And is that meaning actually serving the person you are becoming? I highly encourage you to take this structural philosophy from Chapter 2 and apply it to your own life today. Dive into your own archive, find that sacred pause, and take your rightful seat on the throne. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.